Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday Morning Magic. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday to each and every one of you in the chat, joining the stream, however you may be watching, listening, or joining us today. I will admit, I'm going to start this day off by saying I am exhausted today. I picked up a men's league basketball game that I played last night, so I was up way too late, and my 7-month-old daughter, who is now sleeping through the evening, woke up so early. So we have a lot to talk about, and I am in desperate need of one of these. Cheers, coffee cheers to each and every one of you out there joining the stream. Thank you. If you haven't yet, make sure you click that like button. It is how YouTube pushes live streams out to a wider audience and more viewers. So the more likes we have, the more people we have an opportunity to join us. Good morning, good morning. Who do we got in the chat? If you're here this morning, sound off. Let me know how you found the stream, how you're doing this morning, and generally just say hello. So, first sip. The first sip is always the best. We have a lot to talk about today. I will warn each and every one of you that I put the topics down, and I got some spicy topics to talk about today. We got a lot to break down. But these Friday morning streams are going to be a lot of hanging out, a lot of having fun. And one of the things that I have noticed about these streams is we spend a lot of time chatting about Magic, and we also spend a lot of time chatting about regular things. So I'm going to take a moment and talk about this coffee really quick. The hardest part in the morning is, getting with my family. We get in our little car, we go to the Starbucks, and then I buy a coffee, and then I don't drink any of it because I want that first sip to be with you guys. So I hold the coffee. I just hold it, and I look at it and wish that I was drinking it while I wait for Friday Morning Magic. It is devastating. It is ridiculous. But each and every one of you, if you're having caffeine, let us know the caffeine of choice. Checking in with the chat. Clay, reaching out to Savannah Lion, giving Joan some love. Tal, good morning. Big shout out. We got moderator Tal in the chat. Tal is OG. Went through and is watching the whole Hometown TCG library. We also have Devin Mychan, one of the first subscribers to the channel a year and a half ago. Deslow, first timer, let's go. Lord of the Rings fan. We got some Lord of the Rings to talk about today, so I think you're going to enjoy yourself. It's going to be a good time. TCG dude, iced coffee, super legit. Like, I have a problem. Not only just TCG dude, but everyone out there. I drink iced coffee probably year round, not just in the summer. It is not great. Deslo never played MTG. Well, listen, we are going to go over a topic today that is going to explain why I think Wizards of the Coast chose Lord of the Rings for their Universes Beyond and what that's going to do to you. OG Devin, good morning. Let's get into some things right now, and I want to start today by taking a look at some sales data. That's right. So let's see if I have this set up properly. And we are going to start with the most recent set. So for those who don't know, I collect sales data for every single sold listing of sealed product on TCG Player. And my main focus for those listings is things like Draft Box, Set Box, and Collector Box. I try to keep all that. I used to track also all of the bundles and various products and things of that nature. It is overwhelming. It is a lot of work for someone with a 9-to-5, 7-year-old or 7-month-old, a wife, and I do this channel. I've been trying to do a video every day of the week, so it is overwhelming. So I've scaled it down to be the 3 main products: Draft, Set, and Collector. Then when we have special things like the Complete Bundle or for Aftermath, Epilogue boosters, whatever might have you, we will do those as well. I gotta get the chat pulled up over here so I can see your guys' messages, but I want to talk about March of the Machine sales data, and to do that, I need to pull up the sales data. You guys know how it is. So let's get this framed in correctly and start talking about some of the amazing things we are seeing with the good old mom. Pardon me for a second while I pull out the chat so I can have you guys here. And what do you guys think? Should I put chat on the screen? Should I put chat for the future recordings of this? Should I put chat on the screen? I am curious what you guys think about that. I do want to start a poll. When we talk about March of the Machine, I do want to know, for those of us in chat, have we bought any March of the Machine? So have you guys engaged with the product at all? Because I've bought some, but a very limited number. I've opened a lot more for friends, the game store that sponsors the channel. Shout out MinMax Games. They have awesome prices, awesome sales over there, and they're just great people. I like dealing with them. So, have you bought any Mom? So let's go ahead and get that poll going. Again, if I have any moderators, every untimely pause. What a graph. What untimely pause did I get? I don't know what untimely pause I had. If so, that's just embarrassing. If any of you have engaged with the product, let me know. But let's take a look at March of the Machine. I've last updated my sales data this week. Let's back this out just a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. And overwhelmingly, we see what we have here is this is the total number of boxes bought on the platform. This is everything on TCG Player, right? So all the boxes bought on the platform, there have been 6,523 boxes across draft, set, select, and collector sold on TCG Player for a total community spend of over $1 million. That means us, regular people, regular enthusiasts, have spent over $1 million on product through the TCG Player marketplace. So it's kind of overwhelming when you track this against some of these other indie TCGs and things of that nature. It gets kind of crazy just to think about. So shout out this set. Here's the pre-sale information. Now, Magic the Gathering and TCGs as a whole, from my experience, from all the data that I tracked, pre-sale is extremely important. Let's call it that. You need pre-sale to go well in these sets, and pre-sale for Mom has gone extremely well. As you can see, 768,000, and the percent of all of the money we've spent is 75% was done during pre-sale. So here, let's talk about the product breakdown. This is the number of boxes sold, and as usual, the set box is the big winner, guys. People like set boxes. This is someplace I was off. I was wrong. People like cracking packs, not for EV. They don't go to TCG Player and do value charts and things. They just like cracking packs, and the set box is the king of cracking packs. Shout out to a comment section of the video yesterday, and someone mentioned, hey, why would I want to crack set box packs when all the special stuff is in collector boxes? I don't understand that. And my takeaway is, well, your set boxes are just vastly more affordable and available, and the feeling you get and that emotion and that rush you get from cracking all those packs out of a set box versus spending extra money and only cracking 12 out of a collector box does weigh into that equation here, in my opinion. And we see that reflected in the sales data. It's a massively successful product. Listen, I made an early Magic video a while ago saying I think they need to change the SKUs and the shape of how they deliver us cards, and my suggestion then was maybe juice the draft boxes and get rid of the set boxes. And listen, the community just shows me I'm wrong. I'm extremely wrong. So we got draft boxes making up 10.2%. I think the draft box number is skewed here a little bit. If you haven't been around the channel before, first of all, welcome. Second of all, make sure you click that sub button. Third of all, I think TCG Player is a weird place to buy a draft box. With the set box existing, the draft box is so clearly for the purpose of drafting, right? Very rarely are people cracking draft boxes to pull cards anymore. That's not a thing. You're going to spend the extra $10 and get the set box. So I think with TCG Player, meaning you'd have to then get all of those people together to draft. I don't see it happening. So I think that's a weird outlier here. But I know draft box, I would venture a guess that draft box is the least popular box. And collector boxes, listen, people still love the product. They buy collector boxes. Oh my God, what's going on with my voice this morning? You guys, yes, it is that kind of live stream. You guys are killing me here. But this is the more interesting portion of this graph, and I think this tells us why Wizards of the Coast. This peels back the curtain a little bit and shows us why Wizards of the Coast does what they do. We always say, why is Wizards of the Coast constantly innovating in the collector box? They're always changing things. They're adding serialized cards. They're adding alt arts, chases, yada, yada, yada. This right here shows how much money we've spent on each product through TCG Player. And it's very clear here why Wizards of the Coast spends so much time reshaping and fine-tuning the collector box. It is by and far their biggest earner, not only on this platform, but I venture a guess that it's not their most selling box, but it is their biggest earner across their line of products. So they're going to take a lot of care and special attention to this big earner, and I think we see a lot of that there. So that's the product breakdown. Moving on, the last thing I want to talk about here is the pre-sale data versus other pre-sale data. So for March of the Machine, as we said, we got 768,000. So this pre-sale data is larger. It actually eclipsed the one pre-sale. So Phyrexia All Will Be One. Now, caveat here, this one pre-sale data is without. It is without the complete bundle. I think the complete bundle is an outlier product. I think the complete bundle was a really cool product. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't think it's fair to add that SKU into that mix and try to do a direct comparison when we're comparing draft set and collector here. So I think that's it. And I really do think with the complete bundle added on, one has a great opportunity to be like the standard set of the year. So that's kind of the mom sales data. Let's pop in with chat here. What do we got to say? Use set versus collector versus draft versus commander decks for the poll. Tavern Timmy, like, listen, that's a good one for the next poll. I like that idea. Eric's only opened your bundle box. Okay. All right. Well, I hope the polls were good. TCG Dude has toned down purchases. One set bundle pre-release done with mom now. We're going to talk about mom pre-release in 1 second. That's a fantastic transition. It's almost like you were trying to help me transition to that. And if so, listen, cheers to TCG Dude. Tal was gifted some collector's pack. Dude, the opening experience is a blast. And that's something to mention. I have a good conversation with people about this. Like, the feeling about opening these packs is worth something. It's not everybody just opens packs constantly for EV. That feeling is 100% worth a couple data points here and there. And I think that feeling in this set is fantastic. They just do a great job. But Mom pre-release and Mom Limited is a really interesting kind of beast. EV, so Des asked what EV is. EV is expected value. So when you open a box, how much money do you expect to get back out of the 110 that you put in? And Des, the fact that you are questioning that just it proves, and I know you're a Lord of the Rings fan, but we often make the case that most Magic enthusiasts don't experience the game in the way I do. I will look at EV charts and what cards are worth before I choose to buy a product. Many Magic the Gathering fans, let's go ahead and get the copyright strike out of the way, they will go in and they will just buy the box because they like the set and they think it looks cool. They're not as concerned about the EV. And then if they want to look up the price of their cards, they'll do that as an afterthought after the box is already open. So, but Mom Limited is a very interesting experience because of the battle mechanic. The battle mechanic is wild. It prolongs these games. And listen, I always take a positive angle to things. That's kind of, I'm a positive vibes channel. That's what I like to be. That's what we like to do around here. That's how we exist as a community. But man, oh man, I loved the fact that limited Magic games, you shuffle up, you play 2 games, you were done in 25 minutes, right? Like, that was an awesome experience. The introduction of the battle mechanic, I didn't believe it. I had a friend, Louis, over at Kitchen Table TCG. After this, you should check out the podcast that we're on that airs on his channel every Friday morning. You can check that out after Friday Morning Magic. And he mentioned that was the case. And I was like, I got to do a couple drafts. I got to know. So I went on some digital clients and did a couple drafts. And he's right. Like, these games are drawn out. The battle mechanic really kind of slows things down and make things last a little bit longer. And sitting at the table, I actually think that might be a negative. The casual experience to be able to pop into your FNM, draft, play sealed, pop into a pre-release, get home, get back to your family or whatever else you're doing in the real world. I think that's valuable. And I don't like that those games are drawn out and taking any longer. So that's just my thought on March of the Machine. I think it's worth looking at. Phyrexia All Will Be One really quick, so let's pop that up and get into Phyrexia All Will Be One, and then we will be moving on, checking in with chat. Sounds like you guys are doing good. Let me know if we need audio, video updates, anything like that. Let's check in with this sales data here. So, I forgot to change the last update. If we pop over to the collector case, we'll see that, collector case is a bad example because they don't sell. This was updated on the 3rd. So May 3rd. So I need to change let's change it. You know what? Look at this. You know what? Live editing. Live editing. It was updated on the 3rd. Now everybody knows. So I think this is a candidate for set of the year. So this pre-sale total here includes the complete bundle. Complete bundle still remains, it just continues to sell extremely well. Actually, if we pop over to the complete bundle, you'll see that even in this month, we're selling a bunch of complete bundles. In April, we sold a bunch of complete bundles, which you don't normally see products maintain this well. We're selling, I mean, you see the number of sales happening in April and May. It's insane, and they're selling at a great price. They're selling at a fantastic price if you own them. If you're looking to buy them, there's no reprint protection here, but you got to wonder how often can Wizards of the Coast, they're printing so many sets so quickly, they can't really go back, and they don't have the printer time or the ability to slide some of this stuff in there most of the time. So I think it feels safe, but that is so far from financial advice, it's not even funny. I really think this is going to be a good set. I think the limited experience here not only is fantastic, but it helps this set. We see something similar here. This is back when we were collecting a little bit more data on various products with the complete bundles and everything like that. We do see, listen, set box, set box, set box. Every single set is always set box. We love the set box. It is a popular product, and my take that we should get rid of that is going to live on YouTube in infamy for some long. Freestyle is St. Louis or STL. I don't know if that's St. Louis. I just look at me making assumptions. Do you think you hit the bottom for oil slick prices? Well, let's go to TCG Player and find out. Let's go to TCG Player. Let's reset this so we have a full screen. Let's go Phyrexia all will be 1. Let's go, where's our filter for cards? And let's do price high to low. Let's take a look. We'll look at the lands here in a second. So our oil slick foils coming in a little bit lower than I expected. So full disclosure, I don't track singles as much as I track sealed product. It's not something that I'm super passionate about, but I think there's a lot of information to be garnished here, and this will be a good transition into our mom sealed product versus singles now that we're on TCG Player and on the platform. And guys, if you like the oil slick or you have an answer to freestyle and you think that this product has either bottomed out or is going to continue to climb, let us know in the chat. I love hearing from you guys. I think stuff like this is super interesting. So, oil slick raised foils. Here we go. We got 1, 2. It's hard to say that they've bottomed out. It still seems like there's a lot of product available on the open market. So, I think trying to predict the bottom is too risky. I'm not willing to say that they bottomed out or they didn't. Listen, freestyle. I'm gonna do a cop out here. I think they're a little expensive. I think there's a lot of risk here because you don't have any reprint protection. You could get a secret layer next week, right, with a lot of this stuff in there. I personally don't actually own any of the oil slick foils. I've taken every one of my complete bundles and put them behind me on the shelf back here because I freaking love them. I love the way they look on the shelf. I think they're just gorgeous. You could convince me that, I mean, that's the general product life cycle, right? So the general product life cycle of things like your singles that come out in any set, your high-end singles, they do go down for a while after the set releases, right? And it does seem like, that very much could be the case. We could be looking at, it's gone down for a while. It could just sit here. It also could just be consistent here for a long, long time. This could be a very consistent and safe place to have this product at. But so this is what I was talking about earlier. I've kept my complete bundles, the ones that I have sealed, because, man, I mean, look at that sheen. They just look gorgeous on the shelf. I think they look outrageous. I love the way they look. One day, maybe I should do a shelf tour back here. I've got some wild stuff just all over the place. I've got the jersey hanging up that you can't see, a little off camera, from the competitive play days and some promos from various indie TCG companies and full sheets. Maybe we'll do an office tour one day. But I think it's important to transition this discussion into March of the Machine as the most recent set. So March of the Machine is acting interestingly. And what I mean by that is, again, this was pointed out to me by the homie, Louis, over at Kitchen Table TCG. And I didn't think that this was... I thought maybe he was exaggerating a bit, and then I watched the professor open some collector product, and then I dug in and looked at some more collector product opening and checked out some prices, and March of the Machine is acting wild. If we take a look at, let's just say, a regular collector box. A regular collector box is currently selling for $221. That's a fantastic price if you're a store and you have collector boxes and you're looking to sell them. Like, listen, that's gas. You are so happy with that price point. However, the single cards for March of the Machine are not great. If you don't hit a serialized card or a super high-end Halo foil, like, it's not great. It's not great out here. I got to admit. So it makes me wonder, is the serialized chase hitting home that hard? Do we love the serialized chase so much that we're willing to spend? And look, sales of the collector boxes continue to happen. We saw it in the last pane. Collector boxes are selling rapidly every single day. Do we like the chase so much that we're willing to continue to buy the product just at a chance at the lottery? And if so, if that's what's going on, isn't this, like, serialized cards just a great thing? Like, isn't that just it's a fantastic thing, because your local game store can now still sell the product at a reasonable price. And if people are buying it, right, that means consumers are happily making purchases, and people who don't want to engage with the expensive collector product can then go to the secondary market and get that product and get those singles and get the cards they want for cheaper, because all these people are chasing down serialized cards and putting the rest of the stuff on the market. I think this is a really interesting situation, and it feels like a place of harmonic balance. It feels like we have reached this equilibrium where we're sitting in just like this Zen state. I think it could be a wild experience, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think there's anything to that? Do you think that could be a chance? I'd be hard pressed to be convinced that this isn't a great thing. So I don't know. I'm very interested in that. I'm going to pop in chat, check the results of the poll while you guys fill in and answer that question. Pat, thank you so much for stopping by. I will continue being caffeinated. I can do that. Pat's looking forward to some Fab games. Nice. If you don't know, if you're here from my Fab days and you like my Flesh and Blood content, I started a second channel so the algorithm doesn't punch me in the jaw. It is at Trading Card Geeks. Trading Card Geeks, one word. That's where I'll be making a lot of my indie trading card game and Flesh and Blood content. MC said the Kamigawa collectors were the best looking boxes too. I love that one. So I've got one of the Kamigawa collectors, and let's pop, I guess, while we talk about March of the Machine. Oh, let's pop this up. I have the one, but I have a couple, but they all have the slight rippling on the front, and so they kind of sit off to the side. Right, because that rippling is a little rough. Have you looked at the new Grand Archives TCG? Looks promising. Shout out to my buddy, the OG homie. He's not going to be here. I think he's working. But Dennis of Treasure Hoard Games. He loves the Grand Archives TCG. You can find him on social media on Facebook, and you can look at Treasure Hoard Games. They are going big into the Grand Archives trading card game. And he actually he was showing me a serialized card. He knows how all in on serialized cards I am, so he was sending me some Grand Archive serialized card that he pulled, and it looked dope. It was very cool. Eric, the Professor's collector box opening was wild. It was. If you haven't caught the collector box opening for the Professor, watch this. Watch May the Zoo be with you, then check out the collector box opening. It was wild. It's a great way to put it. Serialized pushing the site, Clay. I think I feel the same way. I think that's kind of the discussion I was just having with you guys. I know I'm late catching up on chat. I think that's fantastic. Scruffy looking gaming daily content. If you like indie TCG daily content, Scruffy looking gamey, the homie. Check out his YouTube channel. Freestyle Magic the Gambling. Like, listen. People want an excuse to open this product, and that's very much true. March of the Machine Multiverse Legends that come in, yes, there are Multiverse Legends in March of the Machine. Tal played Sealed with Bomb, and it was a slog. It does feel like a slog, right? It feels like you're kind of really pushing and grinding through this. So I think it's singles and all this, they're in an interesting spot. I think this conversation's fun to have, but I want to do a bonus conversation that you only get if you're here on the stream. So I'm only going to do this bonus conversation if you're here on the stream. I want to talk about something that I'm buying, and I don't want to talk about it because it's, I don't know. I don't like the whole notion of trading card game investments or any, like, I've said this till I'm blue in the face. I like the boxes and everything that I have on my shelves because when I walk into my office for my 9-to-5 job in the morning, it makes me smile. It makes me happy. I looking at it, and then one day I have dreams of going back with a group of friends and drafting this stuff and playing with it or opening it, or, you know, if I get sick of it or bored of it, sell it or whatever. Like, I like it. It makes me smile. Well, most of it. Okay. There's a couple things that don't make me smile, but most of it makes me smile. So none of this is financial advice, but something I really liked, and if you've been around the channel for a while, you know, is Streets of New Capenna. I love me some Streets of New Capenna. I think it is the most underrated set in the history of Magic the Gathering, and because of that, I decided to start making some purchases. And I want you to tell me if I'm wrong. I'm buying just tons. I don't know if you can see this. If it's too small, we'll try to blow it up a little bit. We'll see if we can't. What do we look like here? There we go. We'll blow it up a little bit. I am buying a profound amount of the gilded foil charms from Streets of New Capenna. You only get this content if you're here on the stream right now. I didn't put this in the breakdown. I haven't posted this on socials. None of that. You only get the content if you're here in the stream. I love these cards, ladies and gentlemen. I think they look fantastic. They look so good. And every time I hold a gilded foil card, I'm just happy. And the charms are so much fun. So many modes, so many different things to do. Like, owning these, this is not a spec. This is in no way financial advice. I am not saying that I'm doing this because they're going to be valuable. I am telling you that I love how these cards look, and I love the fact that I could play them whatever format I decide to play at any given moment. I could play these charms and have some fun. That is what I'm telling you, and for that, it makes me all in. I'm so excited. The other thing I am buying that I think is exciting, I'm excited about, is about one of every Halo foil companion. I think the Halo foil companions are super underrated. Popular commanders and companions in both serialized and the Halo foil, I think, are amazing. We talked about what that's going to be with the, like, everyone chasing these serialized cards, right? The rest of these cards could find themselves drastically dropping in price. And these companions are played, again, in just a multitude of formats. There's a parade of formats available for these companions, and they always sit outside the game in an area where they're on display. And that is so cool to be able to have a cool treatment of a card that's always on display. The emotional connection that you're going to build and enjoy from looking at that card, I think, is going to be, you're going to get a lot of run and a lot of happiness out of that. So I think popular commanders and companions in the Halo foil treatment is something that's very exciting. Some of the art, I'll admit, like the Yorion art for the companion, I don't think I'm the biggest fan of. Let's see. Yeah, like, it's not necessarily my style. It feels more like the MetaZoo style, but I don't know. I think this is fantastic. I really enjoy it. It, like I said, it makes me happy. It makes me smile, and that's what, you should always buy stuff that makes you smile. So that's kind of where I sit. That wasn't on the docket today, so if you're here, you got some bonus content. I'm buying so many gilded foils because I think they look so good. They just make me so happy. That's all I care about. I'm going to stop in and check in with the chat. Guys, if you're new here and you haven't been around yet and you haven't kind of checked out the stream, not only make sure you click the like button, let me know in chat. We're a small enough community right now with 30 of us, kind of around 30 of us in every live stream. I like to be able to recognize faces, recognize names, build these conversations and rapports. Make sure you guys get your caffeine every Friday morning and give us some cool stuff to talk about as we go into the freaking weekend. Popping in with chat. Scruffy, Screech was way under open with some real bangers that I think will skyrocket over time. That might be true, but remember there was a large distribution ultra sale dump where these things were available for like collector boxes for Streets was available for like $100. Like, you know, things like that nature, things like that. So it's important to remember that that did happen. I think there was an Amazon dump or two that happened with Streets. So there might be more Streets than you and I are thinking about off the top of our head. Because I tend to agree with you. I want to agree with you. My initial knee-jerk reaction is to agree. We got MC. I probably should dollar cost average on my Streets. Listen, if you dollar cost average, that's your thing, and good luck to you. It's not something I've done. I got lucky. I bought a lot of Streets very cheap, so I was all in. I love, like, I've got Streets of New Capenna collector boxes that are just askew throughout the various backgrounds that you'll see in videos on this channel. It's so fun. Hammer TCG, am I collecting a Halo full set? It feels like it might be cheap enough, right? Like, I don't know. Someone in chat, if you could put that math together, it might be cheap enough to like put together a binder. I don't have it around here. The set Everfest for the Flesh and Blood trading card game, I grabbed a binder and I was working on a regular set and a holographic set, a foil set, because I was like, yeah, why not? Like, this seems fun. And then I just kind of fell off. So I don't want to get into this Halo set collecting and then halfway through, like, fall off. That is something I'm worried about. So I think it would be cool. Radiator, the gilded cards look great. I would want the gilded foil set before I want the Halo foil. That's a fantastic question. Do I want the gilded foil set or the Halo foil set? Oh my gosh. Is this the question that we need answered? So it looks like most people in the chat have engaged with March of the Machine in some way. So I think this might be a good question based on that. We're starting a poll. Halo foil or gilded foil? I want to know. This is interesting. I think this is fun. What do you guys think? Halo foil or gilded foil? Card Breaks is new here. Welcome, Card Breaks. Happy Friday morning. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you very much for hanging out. Hopefully we're helping start your Friday off in a great way. So that's kind of the behind the scenes of what I'm buying, what I'm picking up. I think it's fun. I'm really excited about that. Let me take a second. It's time to have some coffee. How's everyone doing? What has everyone got planned today? Is anyone in the chat going to Friday Night Magic? I, unfortunately, with a 7-month-old, I don't get to make it out to the FNM as much as I would like anymore. I would like to get out more than I have the chance to. So, call me 3-1. Welcome to the stream. Gosh, there's something about a good coffee in the morning. Okay, moving on. So we've got a lot going on in the Magic the Gathering universe, and the big news this week is Aftermath. So Aftermath is on the horizon, and there's been a lot of talk about Aftermath and how it's going to hold up and what it even does. And I made a couple of videos if you haven't had a chance to check them out. It's something for you to throw on the watch list for whenever you get the chance. I think Aftermath is super interesting. It takes us back to a lot of our core Magic beliefs. And let's pull up some Aftermath, and then let's talk about it. So I'm going to go here. Let's go TCG player. Let's pop back. Let's pop back over, and let's find us some Aftermath. Find the set. Going to be easier if I just type the whole thing, huh? All right. So I think we're in an interesting spot with Aftermath, and I think it's going to take us into some of the core pillars of Magic the Gathering before Magic started to feel more off the rails. And here's what I mean by that. If the collector box and the epilogue box are actually lightly printed, and I'm not saying short printed, I'm saying if they're managed properly, and there's less of them than we are used to in the recent past, then what's going to happen is we are going to be put to the test. We always say, listen, every one of us on YouTube has said it. Probably most of you in the comment section have said it. We don't like the millions of treatments. That's not for us. That's not our bag, right? We want fewer treatments. We want less alt arts. Well, Aftermath is going to say to us, hey, if I give you less, if the only thing that's special is the alt arts that come in this collector box, and the collector box is part of a print run that's managed properly, will we still buy the product? Now, there's none of what we've seen as the new age chase in here. I don't think there's any list slot. I don't think there's any serialized cards. There's no certain set of cards like the Brothers War Archives or the Brothers War Artifacts or the Mystical Archives from Strixhaven. There's no like outside set of cards injected in. This set it's just the set and just the cards in the set. I know that sounds silly, but in today's Magic, the concept of a standard set being released and it being just the cards in the standard set is a little bit foreign to us. So will we value this product at all? Now, there's a couple things working against it outside of that. Its release schedule is ridiculous. We are right after March of the Machine, where it looks like people are chasing down the serialized cards, and we are butting right up against Lord of the Rings that we'll be talking about next. So we're in this weird window, and the fact that it's such a small set with only 50 unique cards, whatever it is, I think that has a lot working against it. So if you haven't seen my video from earlier this week, MinMax Games, if you visit minmaxgames.com and search Aftermath, they have a special that they're only letting me tell you guys about. So as a content creator of theirs, they are selling collector boxes for $165 and epilogue boosters, I think, for $75. So they have, I believe, the best prices on those products on the internet. I'm not really a big salesperson. I don't push, I don't chill, but when there is a sweet deal that's given to us, I do want to tell you guys about it. So if it's something you're going to engage in, let them know I sent you and check out that product. But I think that this product is going to be a disaster on release, but there's an opportunity we could look back on it fondly, right? If that makes any sense. I think when this comes out, the timing of this product and what we've got going on in the Magic world, I think is going to push against it. It's also, it breaks the mold a little bit for what a traditional release has looked like for us as enthusiasts for some time now. So I truly believe that we could be in for a rough spot. And if that's the case, like, it's going to look bad. But I think 10 years down the road, I hate when people say that and I just said it. Oh no. A year or two down the road, I think we have an opportunity to look back fondly on this product and really enjoy it and have it on our shelves or open it and experience some of it. And it's all about box openings, right? Like this product is 100% just about the opening experience. Like, listen, standard, if standard was a popular format, you can convince me that it was there for standard and how a popular format, blah, blah, blah. But this is all about the opening experience, the limited packs, the 6 and 5 cards for collector and epilogue respectively, the no commons, which, God, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. If there's no commons, but there are uncommons, the uncommons are just the commons. The symbol's it's just a different color. All right. So Aftermath is in a unique spot. I think we're in for it when it comes to Aftermath. But this is the moment we've kind of all been waiting for. Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. This product has drawn more community hype than I could have imagined. I knew that there are a lot... Listen, I know there's a lot of Lord of the Rings fans. I understand that. I know that there's a lot of crossover between Magic enthusiasts and Lord of the Rings fans. I completely understand that fact. But I did not foresee the amount of hype for this product, even knowing that information. People are stoked. Every video I make about Lord of the Rings products, everyone is all in. I've got comments saying, I played Magic 10, 20 years ago. I'm excited to come back to experience Lord of the Rings. And this is an amazing sentiment until you look at what it costs to come back into Lord of the Rings. Some of this product, the collector boosters, being almost $400. Your draft booster boxes being $150. Your set booster boxes, $169. I actually think your draft and set boosters here are some of the more reasonably priced premium product that we're going to see, especially this year. But this is one of those sets where you cannot overlook the auxiliary SKUs, what we don't normally talk about. You cannot overlook the various bundles. I am the Jumpstart. I think Jumpstart here, playing in that world, opening packs, playing Magic in the Lord of the Rings universe, right? In that IP with Gandalf and Frodo and casting thematic spells and creatures and living in these worlds is going to be so underrated. That's going to carry a ton of weight. And I've been on record, and I'll say it again, I don't think I can find it here. The starter product for this set is gas. I think the starter product has to be balanced, has to be good, has to be very welcoming and feel warm and interactive. But I think that product's going to be a hit. I think people are going to have a ton of fun with that bad boy. So I'm excited for Lord of the Rings, even outside of the craziness. And we've talked about that on this channel before. Like, the One Ring is not a real chase, right? Like, that's not an actual chase at all. I want to pop over. I know you guys are excited for Lord of the Rings. I want to read from you in chat how excited you are. What do you think about Lord of the Rings? Are you going to go all in? Are you not going to go all in? Did you see my budget video from yesterday? Let me know. Sound off what you got going on. Wow, you guys are blowing up the chat. I freaking love it on Friday morning. Cheers to blowing up the chat. You love to see it. I'm going through a bunch of bulk and very much enjoying this live stream. JDB lives with cardboard. Thank you so much. That is what we like to say. Like, listen, you got to start that Friday off with some positivity, a little energy, and some fun. Scruffy looking. If you go to F&M, I have to see Louis. I don't think I've had enough coffee today to handle that. Like, listen, that's what we're here for. Cheers, Scruffy. Get that coffee in your system. Clay says everything you've seen from Athens looks to be geared toward EDH. That's a comment and sentiment I've had on this channel for some time. Everything from most of these standard releases really feels like it's geared towards Commander, towards EDH. And that's, I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan, but I don't hate it. Like, I've come to accept it, I think is what it is. Grasshopper only interested in Lord of the Rings spoilers at this point. Listen, the fact that we haven't had many things spoiled when all of Aftermath was opened on camera is impressive. Do you think print run will be vastly higher than usual sets for Lord of the Rings? Says Hammer. Yes, 100%. Now, I made a video this week, and I talked about with Universes Beyond, the print run is going to be higher because the whole point, the entire purpose of a Universes Beyond set, right, is to bring people into the Magic the Gathering community, to use an outside IP to get eyes that are on, said IP to turn inward on the Magic community. That is the entire purpose of its existence. And for that to happen, you have to print more product than your regular community seems to need, right? Regular Magic enthusiasts are not going to not engage with the product because it's Lord of the Rings. They're still going to probably engage with this set. And you have the additional weight of the other Lord of the Rings community buying and trying things out. So yes, I think they've also said it's going to be one of the highest printed sets of all time. So 100%. Wow, Scruffy's the Lord of the Rings fan has zero interest in the set. You don't see that coming. Jason Yu-Gi-Oh, what up? What up? Grasshopper wants to talk about the modern playability. And look, I really believe this is going to be a starter theme set. I know it's going to be modern legal, and there might be a few gems thrown in there for modern enthusiasts and people dedicated to the format. But for the most part, I would imagine the power level of this set is going to feel more like a starter product, more like a core set, and it's going to be used to bring people into the game. That's truly what I believe. Not excited at all for Lord of the Rings. March of the Machine Aftermath is my last. I'm done with that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, to each and every one, and you got to do what makes you happy, and I 100% respect that. Tal is, I think you're right. Lord of the Rings sealed will be radical. Listen, I believe. I think living in that world is going to be fantastic. Blue, your budget video wasn't great, to be honest. You basically said every cheap product, jumpstart starter, except no real insight. Well, listen, it's fine that you feel that way. I think draft boxes could have been considered a budget product. I talked about the fact that I'm not going with the gift bundle. I'm going with the regular bundle and kind of broke down why. And as far as the starter product, it's not mainly about the price for the starter product. The insight I gave about the starter product was because I really believe that's a pillar of this set based on what the IP does, and that's something that I think is important. And so, listen, I'm sorry that you felt that way, and maybe I'll work on my presentation, and I'll do a little bit to work on myself and try to find a way to express that a little bit more cleanly. I should script more content, but I don't. I like having natural conversation with each and every one of you guys. So don't buy an investment, but do gift bundles have high value in 20 to 30 years? That's low. Like, that's so hard to say, right? Anything can happen in 20 to 30 years. I encourage you, if you like the Lord of the Rings gift bundle, if seeing it brings you some kind of joy, some kind of happiness, and you have the financial stability and resources, like, that's the thing you should buy. Like, if that makes you happy and excited. I will say, like, historically, gift bundles are fine. They're okay. I think you have to buy things that make you happy. I mean, heck, earlier in the stream, I talked about all the gilded foils that I'm buying. And listen, I'm not buying those because they're going up in value, or I'm buying those because I like them. If 10 years from now I open a dusty box and there are all these ridiculous gilded foils, they make me happy. It makes me happy to see them. So I'll just go ahead and let you know, like, that would be my advice. If you buy something as an investment in trading card games, you're set up for probably not much happiness. Starter 2000 with a computer, dual CD-ROM for the win. Like, listen, I started with starter product. I love starter product. Trained Ogre versus Vizardrix, blue and red, duking it out in the world. That was so much fun. Me and my brother, the insert in there that, like, walks you, they say, don't shuffle these decks, and walks you through the first 10 turns is gas. I think that's the best thing in the world. Warhammer treatment made 4 commander decks for sure. I'm not a fan of the entire set. Okay. Well, like, listen, Scruffy, you're the Lord of the Rings fan, so I'll lean to you on that one. I think you probably have a little more insight than I do as far as the relationship to the Lord of the Rings IP. So that's, in all fairness, you might just have that one correctly. I'll still buy sealed product from Dom United Brothers War for XL. We want a mom when my LGS has excess stock, put it on sale near the end of the year. Oh, okay. Like, listen, sales are a great opportunity to pick stuff up. I love picking stuff up on sale, and that's something that we can offer here on this channel, and that's something I really like to do, is I like to take the opportunity and say, we're not a store, right? So I'm not as worried about what the box costs from distribution. I'm not as worried as the margin on it. I'm as worried at, from our side of the counter, as I call it, the regular consumer side. How do we feel? How much do we enjoy this product? Do we get value out of it? Can we play the game that we love? Are the cards playable? And I think that's an important perspective to take. So I really do like the fact that other people look at the game that way. So big shout out, respect that. Those 8th edition starter kits were so good for kids and teens learning. Like, listen, TCG, dude, you're so right. They were so much fun. I love getting into stuff like that. But let's take a look before we kind of pop over. We are going to pop over to YouTube and check out kind of some content for the week. We will maybe watch the professor get destroyed in his box opening. Oh, that was awful. But I do want to take a look at Commander Masters here. And I think that there's the Commander cards, or the Commander precons in Commander Masters, are going to be a great experience. I said it in the video, and I'll say it here. Sets where they come out with 2 Commander decks, I am not a fan. I don't like 2 Commander deck sets. It's just not for me. I need more than 2 Commander decks. So, stop. Pause. Everyone, if you're in the chat. Halo foil and gilded foil perfectly tied, 50-50, right down the middle. Nobody can pick a treatment. Are you going to leave it up to me to make the deciding vote? Like, what is going on? No poll is ever perfectly tied. Guys, shout out to each and every one of you for perfectly tying that poll. That is one of the most wild things I've ever seen on this channel. Great work, everyone. Late to the stream. Happy Friday, Nick. What's going on? This is wild. I can't believe it. Back to Commander Masters. I had to get that off my chest. And while we do that, I need to know. I've got something for you guys. I think Commander Masters, while we look at it, is too expensive. And I want to put up this poll. I think Commander Masters is too expensive. I just do. I think that there's very little that can be involved in this set to make it worth my while. But I want to know from you guys. Is Commander Masters too expensive from your guys' perspective? Most people are more all in on EDH than I am. I am not super all in on EDH. But how do you feel about it? What do you think when it comes to how you're going to spend your hard-earned money on this product? That's something I'm interested in. But while you guys fill out that poll, I want to talk about the Commander decks. This set of 4 decks. This to me is something that I'm super excited about to have sleeved up around the house, be ready to play with friends that come over in various pods for game nights, things of that nature. But I also think that there is a line of text here. This line of text, which reads, oh, hold on, let's see. Introduces 10 commander cards. Each commander deck also introduces 10 never-before-seen Magic the Gathering cards. How is this going to be managed? This is one of the wildest decisions I've ever seen. You can't tell me that these commander decks would not have sold without these 10 functionally unique cards. If they took the 40 functionally unique cards and just put them in the set, in the boxes, you cannot tell me that the Commander Masters would not have sold. This to me is wild. So I'm excited for this product as something to like play. I'm also going to put a couple on the shelf because I don't know how that's going to work. The 10 functionally unique cards need to be so non-consequential in a product that is this expensive, in my opinion, that I just don't know how that's going to work. That's wild. I know I'm excited. There's Slivers, there's Eldrazi. As someone who's not a big Commander player, I'll be playing the Eldrazi deck for sure. The notion of a colorless Commander deck to a non-Commander enthusiast is like that's exciting. I'm excited to get all in on that. And holy moly, we have 30 people tuning into the stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, smash that like button to help the stream get out there on YouTube land to more players, collectors, and enthusiasts so they can join us as well and have some of these fun conversations and hopefully start their Friday off with a little fun chat, little coffee, little hangout. So I think these commander decks are going to be fun. I'm excited to play them. I want to get in a pod and play them as well. Like I'm interested in the balance. So I want to check in with you guys in the chat as we finish up the Commander Masters portion of the discussion. Next level is all Magic the Gathering too expensive. Like, listen, I know I got roasted a bit for the budget deck earlier, but I think that's something that's important with the budget videos like that, to remind members of the community that there are different ways to engage with Magic. You don't have to buy a collector box of every set, right? That's not something you have to do. You can buy the starter product. You can buy yourself a Commander Precon. You can get a bundle just to experience it and get the dice and something to remember. So there are aspects of that video that I think are important to like remind people like, hey, there are these other products and this might be the time that you want to take a look. You know what I'm saying? Commander decks are a must if that's all you buy from the set. Like I feel the same way. I think Commander Masters you should buy. It's Commander Masters. You should buy Commander decks. That to me just makes sense. Commander players will pay any price for Commander playable decks. Like, listen, maybe, but without knowing what's in here, I'm not going to roast the price point yet. Scruffy, I get you. I feel you. I see where you're coming from. I'm not going to roast the price point yet without knowing too much. Tal, Slivers and Eldrazi. I think the one lame one was like the Abzan enchantments. There's like an Abzan, and I'm enchantment, like Doom Foretold to the moon. I am an enchantment player. I've got videos on the channel playing Explorer and Pioneer Doom Foretold. I love it, but that deck thematically, when pushed up against the other ones, seemed kind of lame. Is the Eldrazi Commander deck the reason I got Waste as my bonus card in Secret Lairs? Maybe. Like that would be a cool tie-in. Like that would be a neat tie-in. You'd like to see synergy like that. That'd be dope. Ooh, Tony. Or pre-order the Slivers and Eldrazi Precons. That is freaking awesome. You guys are crushing it this morning. And as we wind down the stream, I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you. It's wild. You guys do an amazing job. I will put a link in chat as we after we end. We're not ending quite yet, but after we end, I will make sure to put a link in chat for the podcast that I do over on Kitchen Table TCG. It is the May the Zoo Be With You podcast. I think it's a lot of fun. I think those who like, let's say, energetic and exciting conversations revolving around TCGs and some things that aren't TCGs are going to really enjoy themselves over there. So I'll encourage you. Maybe we'll watch like the first 2 minutes or something like that following this. But this has been just an amazing experience. I love you guys. If you guys have any questions while we kind of wrap this up, let me know in the comment section. If this was your first stream, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna spend the rest of the time just interacting with you guys, kind of chatting, talking about some stuff. If you have a video that you'd like to watch, any kind of content that you'd like everyone to enjoy as we go through the week, as we end the stream, totally all in. Sam Kuhlman. I think if this is the Sam that I think it is, not only is he half of the brain trust behind MinMax Games channel sponsor and the amazing deals that we talked about earlier for March of the Machine Aftermath, Epilogue, and Collector, but I believe you just became a dad again. If it's the Sam I'm thinking of, congratulations. I believe you just had another kiddo, you and your family. If so, if this is you, if it's not, this is awkward. But if it is you, that's amazing. Big shout out to Sam and Sam's family in the chat. Great job. Congratulations. Freestyle, first time. Welcome to the stream. Deslo, is it MagicCon today? Is that once... no, they do MagicCons in various cities. I believe there probably is a MagicCon popping off this weekend. So, yes, I'm sure there's a MagicCon. I would like to go to MagicCon Vegas. Do you guys think I should go to MagicCon Vegas? I think I should get out to a MagicCon Vegas. It's just hard with a little kiddo. This is the Sam. Let's go. Nick, the newborn is doing awesome. We're sleeping through the night. We have sleep trained and we're sleeping through the night. And now that I said it out loud, I have ruined it forever and we're never going to sleep ever again. No, why did I do that? What am I doing? May the Zoo Be With You is GOAT. That is true. We were going to fire up the beginning of the episode here in a second to check out. That is Sam. Yes. Yes, Sam. Congratulations. Number 5. Guys, 5 kids. 5 kiddos running around. My goodness. What super dad over there. We could have newborns fight. I think I would get demonetized with newborn YouTube fights. I think I'd be in trouble. Tal's got 4 Sliver Commander decks. The dumbest commander bot ever. Tony's got 7. Whoa. Holy moly. Scruffy, this work is super slow. Like, listen. I don't blame you for being here instead of working. This is only slightly more annoying than work. And on that note, we are going to pop over to May the Zoo Be With You, America's favorite trading card game podcast. And we are going to check out the episode. I'm going to click through some of the ads here because I'm not on my personal account because I cut the cord. I don't have cable, but I have YouTube Premium, things of that nature. So I'm going to put this link in chat after we're done here. I want each and every one of you, if you head over to the podcast, let them know that you were sent from Friday Morning Magic right over here at Hometown TCG. This has been so much fun. As these ads wrap up here, we will finalize our poll. And with 20 votes coming in, it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander Masters is too expensive. Scruffy getting paid to look at my face is the best thing. And now you're going to get paid to look at the faces of YouTube stardom and celebrity.
Hey everybody, welcome to May the Zoo Be With You. We usually start the podcast every week by debating how many of Louis' videos were Josh's ideas, but it's May, so it's ALS Awareness Month. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to put a link down below to Duke's ALS clinic donation page. So we would appreciate you giving generously. ALS is currently a universally fatal disease, but it doesn't have to be. There has actually been more drugs.
Shout out to each and everyone. I donated to this morning.
Have been the last 18 years, and that's because of wonderful donations from people like you. Wow. So with that.
So this is a podcast. We talk about a lot of stuff. These are two of my closest friends. We have a blast.
America's most favorite MTG podcast. We are just one step more sane than the regional banking system. I am, of course, joined by the man. What? That's true. That's true. Like,
this guy is unhinged. He's off the rails.
One step more stable.
He's off the rails.
Yeah, half step. That's fine. That's fine. We'll take it. I'm, of course, joined by the man who only does the MTG as podcast, MTG as content, MTG as everything. Josh!
That's all he does, baby. Just magic.
So this is the
I am
podcast,
also joined by
everyone.
America's #1 NT.
You can find that podcast at the link here. I will pin that at the top of the channel. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you visit that podcast as we move on. And have a great Friday. Enjoy your Friday morning magic. Enjoy your Friday night magic. And cheers to everyone with some caffeine. Sound off and chat. I'm going to finish this up, and then I got to get to work. We'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone.